You've seen this meme before.
What a story, Mark.
It's from The Room, possibly the most famous bad movie ever made.
There's a movie called The Room.
This movie, The Room.
Best, worst movie ever made.
Best, worst movie I've ever seen.
One of the worst movies of all time.
Tommy Wiseau, the man who wrote, directed, produced, and starred in the film, wanted to make a serious drama.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
But it ended up being a film so broken, so bizarre, and so unintentionally funny that it outlived movies that were actually good.
What makes you say that?
A best-selling book was written about it, which later got adapted into an Oscar-nominated film. And the man behind it is somehow even stranger than the movie itself. To this day, nobody really knows who he is, where he's from, or where he got $6 million to finance the whole thing himself. It's the kind of disaster that somehow became myth.
Citizen Kane of bad movies.
Bad movies.
That story is strange enough on its own. Then I found out I actually know someone who worked on it.
I've done, from everything from Nip Tuck to Glee. And every time I mention The Room, I can mention all the credits, but everybody wants to stop and focus on this shit movie that I just don't understand why it's such a big deal. But
This is Joe. He was a camera assistant on The Room, and I had no idea until I watched the film again to write this video, and noticed a familiar name in the credits.
all the stuff that's out of focus, this guy.
To understand why The Room became legendary, you first need to understand what kind of film it actually is. It tries to be a romantic drama with a love triangle that's supposed to be tragic. Johnny is a banker in San Francisco. His fiancée, Lisa, is cheating on him with his best friend, Mark. The problem is that Tommy Wiseau doesn't just struggle as a writer, director, actor, and English speaker.
Chip, 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 chip.
He also doesn't seem to fully understand how human beings behave, which is why so many people have described The Room as a film made by an alien who had never actually met a real human.
He didn't know what he was doing. So we're like, okay, let's put the camera here. He didn't know what shots he wanted. He couldn't even say his lines right, to be honest with you. And the script was horrible. Some of the words were like, what the hell is he trying to say here?
And the biggest problem is obvious almost immediately: the dialogue. The most famous line in the film is probably this.
What a story, Mark.
Let's see the full scene.
I used to know a girl. She had a dozen guys. One of them found out about it, beat her up so bad she ended up in a hospital on Guerrero Street.
What a story, Mark.
Mark is describing a woman who got put into a hospital by a jealous lover. Johnny responds by laughing. But honestly, what can you expect from a man who changes topics like this?
I cannot tell you, it's confidential.
Oh, come on, why not?
No, I can't. Anyway, how is your sex life?
This is not intentional absurdism. This is just how people speak in Tommy Wiseau's universe.
I never thought anybody was going to see it, but I was laughing during the whole time. So, I thought it was funny filming it.
In that same universe, here's how Lisa gets news about her mother's health.
I got the results of the test back. I definitely have breast cancer.
Look, don't worry about it. Everything will be fine.
No shock, no emotion, no human reaction of any kind.
Did you get your promotion?
Nah.
You didn't get it, did you?
Also, almost every conversation in the film begins with, "Oh, hi," followed by the other person's name.
Oh, hi, Danny.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hey, Johnny.
Oh, hey, guys.
Oh, hi, Johnny.
Oh, hi, Danny.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hey, Johnny. Oh, hey, Lisa. Oh, hey, Peter.
Oh, hi, Danny.
Oh, hi, Mike.
Oh, hi, Susan.
Well, hi, Johnny.
Oh, hi, Mark. It's so stupidly funny.
But nothing beats my favorite scene in the whole movie.
How much is it?
It'll be $18.
Here you go. Keep the change. Hi, doggy.
You're my favorite customer.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Every time I watch it, I start laughing. I still can't believe it's real. I've seen a ton of great films with memorable scenes. Very few of them live in my head the way this one does. And this is where the story becomes interesting, because what makes a film this catastrophically bad so impossible to forget? To understand that, you need to understand Tommy. Because if the dialogue seems written by someone who has never participated in human interactions, wait till you see the acting.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I did not hit her. Like a Terminator.
And if you're thinking they just shot that quickly, settled on the first take and moved on, no. They lost an entire day filming it because Tommy couldn't remember his lines, which has been recreated in James Franco's film, The Disaster Artist.
Action.
I did not hit her. Okay, line.
Take 17. Action.
I hit her.
No. Do you want to change the line?
Script is script. Script says same.
You're doing great, man.
There's also this iconic moment where he tries to channel his idol, James Dean.
You're tearing me apart! You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
Or this legendary line,
You know what they say, love is blind.
and speaking of love, Tommy was convinced his film needed two things to succeed: love scenes and his own behind on camera. He was right, just not in the way he intended.
So when he would get up, his ball sack would be hanging out as he's walking towards the bathroom. And I made a comment one time, I was like, I don't want to see those tea bags. The whole crew was busting up laughing.
In the first 30 minutes, we get 3 love scenes completely out of nowhere, because someone probably told Tommy that in relationships, human beings have sex. I don't think they explained the full mechanics though, because while I can't show you this on YouTube, Tommy appears to be targeting somewhere in the general vicinity of the belly button.
I think you're aiming a little bit.
I aim when I aim. Just do the scene.
Why is he having sex with her belly button?
As far as Juliet goes, I mean, she was just uncomfortable and you know, there was no close set. So you have all of us there.
These scenes are badly written, badly acted, and badly executed, but at least they serve some purpose in the story. However, the film also has scenes with no purpose whatsoever, like all the moments where the characters, dressed in full tuxedos mind you, inexplicably play football, or rather, just throw a football back and forth between themselves. It feels like Tommy heard somewhere that Americans occasionally throw a football around, and decided to stuff the detail into every corner of the film to seem authentic. Even funnier, Tommy insisted on filming on a studio set with a badly rendered digital background, even though he had access to the actual locations.
This set of the alleyway looks exactly like the real alleyway out there.
That's right. That's why we do in Hollywood movie, right?
Well, why don't we just shoot in the real alleyway?
Because it's real Hollywood movie.
No, yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
There was points where I would just break down laughing because the stuff that went down during the scenes.
And if you're wondering what format this masterpiece was shot on, film or digital, the answer is yes. The film was shot on both simultaneously.
Well, we'll shoot both on this film.
Digital and film?
Tommy didn't know which was better, so he decided to use both at the same time. This needlessly complicated the entire process and made the production even more expensive. The 2 cameras were mounted on a special rig that turned out to be completely useless because nothing shot on digital was ever used in the final film. But Tommy was a visionary who refused to rent the equipment and instead bought everything outright, including both cameras. And at the end of every shooting day, Tommy would take the digital camera home with him. When Greg asked him why, he answered, "Thieves," and then left.
We steal. I say steal because he didn't have a permit.
Yeah, it's in the book.
So we would go to San Francisco to Gay Park and jump out of the van and load up the put out the equipment and start shooting. And the police would come and then Greg would talk to the police as we're throwing shit back in the van. It was like that a lot in San Francisco.
On top of that, he'd hired someone to film absolutely everything behind the scenes. Not for a documentary or a making of, but to spy on the crew and find out who was talking about him behind his back.
This Marcus, I hired him to do documentary, the making of the room. He captured every comment. Oh yeah, Tommy weird. I hear everything. I have ears everywhere. I hear your whispers in your souls.
He was spying on us, filming us, talking shit. I want to see that footage because there's so much. The camera was on us all the time. And I was talking so much shit, even when we're like at lunch or something. But it was being filmed a lot, and that's the footage I want to see, not the movie.
Which raises the obvious question: where did a man this paranoid and bizarre get all this money? Bad films get made all the time, but there's a difference between making a bad film and appearing seemingly out of nowhere in Hollywood, with an accent nobody can quite place, millions of dollars in your pocket, no clear past, no confirmed age, and not even the people closest to you knowing who you really are.
He doesn't know what he was doing, so it was kind of like, it was hard to deal with, but it is. I said, this movie's never, I said it to him, I was like, what are we making? Nobody's going to see this piece of shit at all.
This isn't just the story of a bad film anymore. It's the story of one of the strangest people to ever enter American cinema.
He thought he knew a lot because he took a acting class or something, and he felt like that he could now be the next Spielberg.
Beyond wanting to pass as a real director, writer, and actor, Tommy also wanted to pass as something else, a true blue American. Despite the thick accent and broken English, he claimed to be from New Orleans, said that's just how people talk down there. And when he met Greg Sestero, who was 19 at the time, Tommy, who appeared to be at least 2 decades older, insisted they were roughly the same age. None of these details describe merely an eccentric man. They describe someone who appears to have reinvented himself from scratch, a more American, cooler, more mysterious, and probably more acceptable version of whoever he actually was. And this is where Tommy stops being just a meme and becomes genuinely interesting. Because everything suggests he didn't just want to make a film. He wanted to be taken seriously. He wanted to be loved. He wanted to walk into American cinema not as an Eastern European outsider with a strange accent, but as the new James Dean.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
The documentary Room Full of Spoons set out to find out who Tommy Wiseau actually is. Tommy sued the filmmakers and blocked its release. Joe appears in it too, and even he won't say directly where Tommy is from.
I kind of know where he's from, but I'm not allowed to say because I talked about it on another documentary.
But the secret did eventually come out. He most likely comes from Poznań, Poland, was probably born somewhere in the mid-1950s, and his real name is believed to be Tomasz Wieczorkiewicz. None of this has ever been confirmed by Tommy, of course, but in an interview with Jimmy Kimmel, he admitted publicly for the first time that he does indeed come from Europe.
You will not say where you're from?
No, I can tell you.
Oh, tell me.
Yeah, I'm originally from Europe, but I'm right now American.
So that's a good start. But honestly, where he's from is only half the mystery. The other half is the money, because Tommy didn't just have enough to live comfortably. He had enough disposable income to throw millions at the room, buy all the equipment instead of renting it, and keep a massive billboard running in Hollywood for years.
We need a piece of equipment. He's like, okay, here's my card. Just go into Birds of Sawyer, tell them what you want, and they'll give it to you. So we were going in there getting filters, buying like anything, you know, like I don't know where he got this money from. They just keep buying shit. Like he bought the cameras, he bought everything, so.
This scene from The Disaster Artist looks like something invented just for the film, to quickly tell us Tommy was absurdly wealthy. It's real. It actually happened, and it comes straight from Greg's book.
I'd like to cash this check if possible.
Okay. Is 20s okay?
Went through?
Yeah.
That is shocking.
This account? It's like a bottomless pit.
He claims he made his money from clothing, then from real estate. And part of that actually checks out. He had a jeans store and owns properties in San Francisco, and apparently Los Angeles as well, when they went to San Francisco to shoot the rooftop scenes. Both Joe and Greg were stunned to find that Tommy had the keys to an entire commercial building in Fisherman's Wharf, because apparently it was his.
And we want to shoot on the rooftop of this building, and he had the key. And I'm like, what the hell? He has a key to this place?
But even with all that, the story doesn't fully explain how you go from Eastern European immigrant to the man who can casually throw millions at one of the strangest films ever made. Without a real investigation, we'll probably never know exactly where it all started. And it's not hard to read The Room as a projection of Tommy's own story. A man who sees himself as perfect and feels betrayed by everyone around him, which is exactly how Tommy responded when Greg began building a separate life of his own. From the few things Greg says he actually managed to learn about him over the years, a picture emerges of someone who was humiliated, rejected, lonely, and spent his whole life trying to reinvent himself. We don't know how much of Tommy Wiseau is truth, how much is mythology, and how much is pure self-invention. But it's hard to take all of this in and not see someone who wanted, his whole life, to be accepted, admired, and taken seriously. Greg writes in the book that when he was alone in a hotel in Bucharest over Christmas, working on a film, Tommy tracked him down and sent him a telegram.
Merry Christmas. You are a special person. May all your dreams come true.
The kind of gesture that's odd, but also surprisingly thoughtful. Not something you'd automatically associate with a man like him. None of this makes him less absurd, less manipulative, or easier to be around. But you can't reduce him to a joke either. And maybe that's exactly why The Room is memorable. It's bad, it's ridiculous, it's funny without meaning to be. But behind all of its decisions, you can feel something real and sincere. And that's precisely what explains what happened next.
I didn't learn anything new. Usually on a project, I learn something new.
You should watch the film again.
I should, but I probably won't.
The Room was released in the summer of 2003 and was, at first, an almost total failure. Even though Tommy treated the premiere like a major event, limos, spotlights, red carpet, the whole package. He even kept the film in theaters for the minimum time required to technically be eligible for an Oscar. Spoiler alert, it was not nominated for an Academy Award. Under normal circumstances, the story would have ended there. A bad film, a failed premiere, a few confused reactions, and that's it. But Tommy Wiseau was not the kind of man to easily accept that he had failed. So, he didn't let the film die. He kept paying for screenings in Los Angeles and ran a massive billboard in Hollywood for years. His face, the film's title, and his own phone number.
There's a billboard that was right down the block from our theater for many, many years.
Yeah.
Like, how long was that billboard up? Do you know?
I think it was 5 years.
5 years for a movie. You
On
don't
his
see
own
them.
dime.
I would drive by Sunset Boulevard on Highland every day, and there's a billboard, and I'm like, it's his face, and it says The Room, and I'm like, that billboard's been up there for ages and ages. It was up there for years.
What is the phone number to?
That goes to Tommy's apartment.
To his apartment.
Like, he'll answer, hello, go see my movie at Sunset 5.
That billboard cost hundreds of thousands of dollars in total. But it worked. It became a local landmark, something so absurd and so omnipresent in LA that people couldn't ignore it anymore. And slowly, the very thing that should have buried the film started making it famous. Now, America has a long tradition of midnight cult films loved precisely because they're terrible.
It's just a movie.
Just a movie? You don't understand. This is Plan 9. This is the one that worked. The worst movie ever made.
But The Room did something very few films managed to do. It turned the screening itself into a ritual.
Because it wasn't his ambition to make a comedy, to be honest with you. I mean, it just kind of fell in a place, and certain people got to see it. If those certain people didn't go see it and laugh their ass off and then talk about it with their friends, I mean, that's how it got big, is from word of mouth. You know, like, if it was just straight to DVD, nobody would probably pick it up.
Film students, film fans, actors, celebrities, curious people, and then their friends started showing up. At first, ironically. Then they just became fans. They started quoting the lines, shouting at the screen, turning the whole thing into a collective experience. At first, they laughed at Tommy. Then they started laughing with him. He was treated like a successful filmmaker, not a punchline. And like the true entrepreneur that he is, he realized that success is success, and started claiming this had been his intention all along, to make a dark comedy where you can, and I quote, laugh, cry, have fun, as long as you don't hurt yourself.
I always say you can laugh, you can cry, you can express yourself, but please don't hurt yourself.
Don't hurt yourself.
That's right.
From a drama, he goes, I'm making a serious drama, to like, oh, I made a comedy all along. No, you didn't.
The screenings became, over time, completely interactive. In the apartment scenes, there are photo frames in the background apparently left with the stock photos from the factory, and inexplicably, some of them contained pictures of spoons. So the audience did what any reasonable audience would do. They started bringing plastic spoons to screenings and throwing them at the screen every time one appeared.
That picture frame was bought by art department at a Target down the street or whatever. They just went and got a picture. And they didn't change the picture out. They just left whatever stock photo was in the photo.
In the ridiculous scene where Tommy connects a tape recorder to his phone to spy on his fiancée, the audience sings the Mission Impossible theme. When a character walks through a door and doesn't close it behind them, the audience shouts, "Shut the door!" And when someone eventually does close it, the audience applauds. Little by little, The Room stopped being just a bad film. It became a phenomenon. And then, the story reached journalists.
It wasn't until 2008 that I got a call from an Entertainment Weekly reporter who had just seen the film and called it the best cinematic experience of his life. With 60 people throwing spoons and shouting at a screen, he felt like he had to write an article about it. And he went on to say that it was being studied in universities and there was a celebrity fan base.
Greg then realized there's a lot of potential in the whole story of how this film came to be, so he wrote the book, The Disaster Artist. And it's a great book, and it works precisely because it took all the chaos surrounding Tommy and turned it into something very funny. When I reread it, I noticed Joe shows up toward the end as well. It's something every Room fan should go through at least once. In 2017, the film adaptation arrived. The Disaster Artist, directed by and starring James Franco as Tommy Wiseau. The film chooses to focus on friendship and shared dreams, a clean, feel-good Hollywood story. But it's not quite the story from Greg's book, which is far more honest about how unbearable Tommy had become and how genuinely complicated their relationship really was. It compresses years of slow, grinding growth into a single premiere scene where the audience loves it on the spot, even though in reality, it took years for The Room to become truly beloved. Despite all that, the film was taken seriously. It was nominated for an Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay, and James Franco won the Golden Globe for his performance. The Disaster Artist brought Tommy Wiseau's story to a much wider audience, people who might never have heard of The Room, and that's the perfect irony. Tommy Wiseau wanted his whole life to be taken seriously as a filmmaker. He couldn't manage it with the film he made on purpose. He managed to do it indirectly, through a film made about his failure. Although, is it really a failure? Because the more interesting truth is this. Cynicism produces decent films, sometimes even great ones, films you tend to forget or at the very least, never want to watch again. Sincerity, even if it doesn't hit artistically, produces something rare, something you can never forget.
You know what they say, love is blind.